PRIMEXBT is the most powerful trading platform offering immediate access to over 30 assets. Trade cryptocurrencies, forex, commodities, stock indices, and much more, all from a single Bitcoin settled account. Visit the link below and start trading on PRIMEXBT in minutes.
FERRUM Network is an interoperable DeFi ecosystem offering token pre-sales, staking as a service, project incubation, and much more. Visit thebirbnest.com/FERRUM. Globe is an upcoming crypto derivatives exchange offering up to 100 times leverage on crypto and DeFi perpetual contracts. Sign up for early rewards at thebirbnest.com/globe. RADIX is the first Layer 1 protocol built specifically to serve DeFi. More information at thebirbnest.com/radix. YFDAI is democratizing finance by creating the most secure, transparent, and user-friendly ecosystem of DeFi products. To learn more, visit thebirbnest.com/YFDAI.
All right, what's up, guys? Welcome to my first webinar here in this 200K Celebrationary Traders Congress. So yeah, I'd like to welcome all the new people here, all the new people and all the old members. So if you guys have been joining, if you guys have been watching any of my other webinars, you know that stuff doesn't always go as planned. So what I'm doing right now is I'm trying to share my screen, which will be up very shortly. Right here. So in today's webinar, I am going to talk about the Fibonacci tool, right? And there's going to be a giveaway, right? There's going to be a giveaway. I think we're going to have either a Nest Club membership for a month, or we're going to have like a trading psychology session. Not sure. So I should definitely have planned that better, honestly. All right, so let's talk about the Fibonacci tool, right? Some of you are probably aware about the Fibonacci tool, and I'm going to be showing all of this in TradingView, right? And if you don't have an account on TradingView, you should definitely get one right away, right? So it's probably the best sharding platform out there, and it's the one I'm using, and all the other team members in the Birb Nest, and most of the members are using this platform. So definitely get an account with TradingView if you don't have one. And right here to the left, you will have the Fibonacci tool. So I'm just going to go through the very basics here and show you everything, so that even the most the beginners are going to be able to figure this out. So on the left here, you have the Fibonacci retracement tool. You can click here and you have a list with a lot of different stuff here. I'm using mainly the Fibonacci retracement tool. You can use the trend-based Fib extension as well, but I'm mainly using the Fibonacci tool, right? The Fibonacci retracement tool. So I'm going to show you how I use this tool to. God damn it, I'm so nervous. I don't know why. I'm doing this almost every day for the Nest Club members, and I don't know why. This is so special. It's just such a big and special event, and for some reason, I don't know why, I'm just super nervous. So bear with me, guys. I'm going to try to do this as well as I can. We got the Fibonacci retracement tool here to the left, and I'm going to first and foremost show you guys what levels I have, using the Fibonacci tool. And all right, so I'm going to show you the level, because I'm funny guys in chat. All right, so I'm just going to show you the template here for the Fibonacci tool, what levels I have, and what the settings basically of the no. No, dude, I'm just nervous, man. But it's good now. It's good. It's all right. So these are the levels I have. So I recommend you guys, watch the replay. Just pause the video and copy this if you want to have the exact same levels as I have. And the reason for having the, so as you can see here, I have the the 618 and the minus 618 as blue, and the 786 as blue, and the 702 as green. And this is because I want to highlight an area which I'd like to call the RLC area, right? And the RLC area stands for the reload zone, and I'm going to be talking about that more in detail in the later in this webinar. So these are the settings I use. I have the 1, the 0, the 786, the 702, the 618, the 50%, and do I use log? Should we use log? No, I don't use log, and you should probably not use log either. So I got and then of course the minus, right? So these are the extensions, right? These are the normal fib levels based on the Fibonacci sequence of numbers. Obviously, it's numbers. Then this right here, you have the Fibonacci, the extensions, which is basically just this added on top. And this is, the levels that I'm using as my take profit areas, right? And usually when I take a trade based on, if this is the fib that I'm basing my trades on, let's say price comes up like this, hits that one, so I select the low to the high and mark out the fib. Price starts to retrace. Now when price starts to retrace, this is a bullish fib, right? Because the fib is drawn from the low to the high. And also something very important to note here is when you draw the fib, it always have to be forward in time, right, guys? So always have to be forward in time. You can never draw the fib backwards in time, because then you will have a reversed fib, and it's just not going to be correctly drawn. When drawing a bullish fib, you have an uptrend where you select the low to the high, and you will find the fib levels that are going to be most likely used as support. When drawing a bearish fib, you have a downtrend, you select the high to the low, and when price starts to pull back, you're going to look at the fib levels as areas of potential resistances. So in a downtrend, you're drawing bearish fibs. In an uptrend, you're drawing bullish fibs, and the bullish fibs are and uptrend are to be viewed as potential support areas. The fib levels of the bearish fib are supposed to be used or viewed as potential resistances on a pullback to short for a continuation of the trend downwards. I'm going to show you live examples of this, obviously. And guys, if you're watching this and you have not subscribed to the channel, I don't know what you're doing with your life. You have to be subscribed to the Birb Nest channel. So the Birb Nest channel. So go ahead and press the subscribe button. And also, that little bell notification button, press that one and do it right now, because otherwise you're not going to be notified when we have our live streams and upload new videos, which we are going to do on a regular basis during these 14 days. So please, guys, subscribe to the channel, like the video. It's not only going to help you, it's also going to help us grow to help you even more. Right, so that's the general basis of the fib tool. Now I'm going to repeat. All right, so my watch once is talking to me. What the fuck? Right, sorry about that. So I'm going to repeat something very important when it comes to the fib, right? When it comes to the fib tool, always draw it forward in time, never backwards. If you draw it backwards, it's going to be wrong, right? I see this done over and over again. Draw it forward in time. I never ever want to see a shot again in the Nest Club chat with people drawing the shot incorrectly by drawing them backwards in time, right? So forward in time, always, never backwards. All right, so that's how I use the fib tool to find potential support areas and resistance areas. And we're then going to look at an example how I use the fib tool to find areas of confluence, which I'd like to call fib confluence areas. And we're then going to look at some live examples. I haven't really prepared a lot of live samples, so we're just going to have to do a market scan and put this to the test to see if we can find anything. But first, we want to, I'm going to look at the, we've got USD JPY here, right? This is a good example. USD JPY. Now this is Forex, but you know, it doesn't matter. It's all the same. It's all market structure, no matter what the ticker is, just market structure. And we are looking for potential trades in this market structure. So this is USD JPY on the monthly. So what we are going to do now is we are going to add levels just all over the place, from important lows to highs on different time frames and different part of the market structure to see if you can find any fib levels that can align and point us in the same direction. That's a level of confluence, right? So we select the fib tool, like I've showed you. Very important here to have the magnet tool. You do not want, and especially not in the monthly. I see a lot of people, they don't use the magnet tool and they kind of do something like this and this, but this is on the monthly and it looks good on the monthly. But if you zoom into like the 15-minute, you will notice that this high here, this 0% fib will be way off, right on the 15-minute and the lower time frames. So use the magnet tool in TradingView when applying your fib. That's very, very important. Otherwise, when you go down to lower time frame, it's just going to be more and more wrong. You can also hold your control key, and that's going to activate the magnet automatically in TradingView, right? So you select that low right here. I have the magnet tool control key pressed in, that which will snap it to whatever wick or candle close is closest to the cursor. So I think that's the high. Yeah, that's the high. So we're going to extend this to the right like that. Boom. Nice. Perfect. So this is our first fib, and I've based this fib on this low to this high, right? This is a bullish fib. And just a quick note. We bounce very nicely in the long RLC here, the area between the 618 and the 786 right here. But that's not the important part right here. The important part right here is, let's move this orange line right here. It's just a just an alert. I'm seeing a lot of questions. And I am going to go through the questions, but let me just cover this first, and then we'll go through the questions. Giveaway. We have a giveaway going on. So let's do a giveaway for a 1 month calls only subscription. So what you have to do is you will have to go to the link in the description of the video, and you are also going to use the code that I'm going to show you, right? Use the code, go to the link in the description of the webinar, use the code and follow the instructions, and you are in to win a 1 month of calls only membership, right? All right, so let's continue with this one. So now I have added the high time frame fib using that low to this high. Don't worry, guys. I'm probably gonna run the code once again because that was pretty quick. So you know what? Let's just show it once again. So now we have from that low to this high. Now we want to select. We want to put in a new fib, right? So we want to find like a nice clean market structure, and preferably I'd like to use that low to this high right here, because that's going to show me the important fib levels of the most recent price action, right? And that's the most important for me right now, because I might want to go long today or whatever. So I want to find like where is the fib levels on the most recent move. Remember, this is on the monthly chart, so we get a lot of optimizing to do here. We're going to go down to the we're going to take the trade on like the 4 hour or the 1 hour. So we have a lot of zooming in to do here, but this is the first step of finding fib confluence. Right, the code is going to be shown in the webinar during the time of the webinar. So you obviously have to watch the webinar to be able to find the code. I'm not going to say it, dude. I'm not going to say it. You have to watch it. All right. So we select that low right here. That low, boom, right there to this high. Remember, always forward in time. Bullish fib from low to high. We extend this to the right. Now, do we have any fib confluence areas? Do we have any fib confluence areas? And a fib confluence areas, what is a fib confluence area? It's an area where two fib levels align, right? And the first thing that I noticed, the first and the most obvious thing that I noticed right here is the confluence between the medium time, let's call this the medium time frame fib and this the high time frame fib. So the first thing I notice here is the confluence between the high time frame 50% fib, right? And actually the 50% is not a fib number. The 0.5 is not in the Fibonacci sequence. It's actually it's actually just very important in trading because it's half of the move, which it just makes a lot of sense to use the 50% fib, but it's not a fib number. So keep that in mind. I'm trying to see if I can that one, right? So we have a new platform here. We're trying with streams. I mean, it takes a bit of time to get used to everything. But this is a very important area. We have the 50% fib of the high time frame fib and the 0.236 of the low time frame or the medium time frame fib. We also have the confluence between the medium time frame 50% and the high time frame 618. So these are going to be the two most important fib confluence areas, right? So right in the middle of these two, I'm going to add a horizontal level. Pressing Alt plus H will automatically put a horizontal level right there. And then the next one right here between the 50 and the 236. We're now going to zoom into the daily to see if these levels make sense. Can we add another fib on the daily chart? And how is price reacting to these fib levels? So here we have an area of confluence, and when you have an area of confluence on the fibs, you want to make sure that it makes sense from a market structure perspective. You can't just put it on chart and hope for the best, right? You have to actually, it needs to make sense according to price structure and the market structure of the chart that you're trading. Because remember, you can't, I mean, the indicators that you are using is supposed to be put on the market structure, but market structure is always going to be a priority. So if the fib level that you have put on the chart makes no sense according to market structure, if none of the fib levels, if price isn't reacting at all to any of the fib levels, that fib is not a good fib. Price needs to react to the fib levels. It needs to fit in the market structure. No matter if the fib is drawn correctly or not, it needs to make sense according to the chart's current market structure. And here it does, right? So these two fib confluence areas I really, really like, because if you, for example, if you go to the line chart right here, and I will be doing a new webinar in this 200K Traders Congress, where I show you guys how to identify and trade horizontal levels. So I would recommend that you take that webinar and combine it with this one to kind of, because obviously horizontal levels is at the basis of everything that I'm trying to show you guys here, right? But if you go to the line chart, it's going to be it's going to be much easier to kind of, find levels, right? Which align with these fib confluence areas. And the daily looks pretty messy here, so we're going to go to the 3-day. Now look at the 3-day right here. This is absolutely beautiful, right? You have such a beautiful level right here. You have you have that touch right here, that touch, this touch. It's just all over the place, right? So this is just a beautiful level, and I found this using only the fib tool, right? And also look at the next fib confluence area right here. Get a nice, and a nice W right here. It's beautiful, absolutely beautiful. It's such a nice Two very nice levels found only using the Fib tool, right? So these are now the levels that we are interested in, right? Now let's try to kind of refine this. Let's go to the daily and let's try to kind of refine this and make an area out of these levels, because it's very important, right? Price will never react exactly to the levels that you put on the chart. It will react to a buffer zone around the level. So whatever, whatever price level you were watching, like for example, if you're watching 100, not on this chart, but as an example, if you're watching the price level 100, maybe the area between 90 and 110 should be used as an area, right, around the 100 level as a buffer zone, right? That's why I always use the rectangle tool, which can be found where? It can be found not here, it can be found here. You press this right here to the left, the fourth one from the up side, and then the rectangle tool, right? You want to kind of encapsulate the price action, right? Which kind of like this, right? So that kind of, you go back to the line chart. Does it make sense on the line chart? Yes, it does. Does it make sense on a candle, 3-day, daily? Yes. All right. So that's our first level. That's our first Fib confluence level. Now let's just copy this and pull it down. Does this make sense? Yeah, kind of does. So that's now a very, very important level, right? So in my opinion, the two most important levels and the two most important parts of the Fib tool is the 50% and the 618. And here you have a Fib confluence between the 50% and the 618, which tells me that this is going to be a very, very interesting area to see how price reacts to, right? But then again, we have this area right here. So what we're going to do now is we're going to remove the, we're not going to remove the Fib tool. We're going to move it to the left so that it kind of clears the path for current price structure, right? It'll be cleaner. It's very, short hygiene is very, very important. Now we kind of have that, gone. And the reason for, why I want this on the chart is because when I zoom out, I can, still use the levels as, take profit areas and stuff like that without having it, clouding the chart on lower time frames, right? So what we do now is we kind of go down into the even lower time frames. I want to look at this, guys. This is absolutely beautiful. This is absolutely beautiful. Look at the 1 hour, right? Look at the 1 hour. Boom. Look at this. Goddamn. Look at this. So you add the Fib tool, right? So use the Fib tool from this low to this high. Now, what do you think we're going to see here? What do you think we're going to see here? Remember, this is a Fib confluence area. Now, I suspect that this is going to be the long RLC. Now, if the long RLC is in confluence with this horizontal level, we have jackpot, right? We now have a strong Fib confluence using the monthly chart, and we go down to the 1 hour, and we might find that price is bouncing inside the long RLC. Now, is that a trade? Hell yes. Hell yes, that's a trade. Well, almost, right? It's close enough. So the way I would trade this is I would look at this because you're testing the 786. If you're bouncing here, if you're losing the 786, right? If you're losing the 786, this Fib is invalidated, right? This Fib is totally invalidated. So I would have to look at a new trade or a new structure. And you can also kind of look at the 4 hour, and you can put a Fib on here, but now it kind of starts to get messy. But when you add a Fib right here, you will see that you also have the 236 or the 382 right below here. And looking at the 4 hour, this is definitely, I mean, if you add from this low to this high, now it starts to get very interesting, right? But honestly, I think I would rather use the daily, the 1 hour Fib than as compared to the 4 hour, right? Because look at this. This is the bounce, and this is the reaction. This is the bounce, and this is the reaction. So in my world, I'd like to use this low and this high as one Fib, and this low and this high as one Fib. So it's important that you don't try to choose the Fib that fits your narrative, because if I would do that, I would remove that Fib right there, and I would keep the Fib drawn from this low to this high and this low to this high. But honestly, having this as a Fib in my world makes no sense. all right? Because there's already been a high and low. So we need to use the low time frame fib, right? Which is in danger of getting invalidated, right? So that would be that low to this high. But as you can see, it's pretty much bouncing inside that area right now. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to explain to you the long run. And you're right, man. Like David Flores says, you can tell libs enjoy TA so much, and really, like, I do. I love this. I mean, it's just, I love this. It's like, you know, what I love about TA and trading is like it's a way to, I mean, it's a way to kind of, you know, express your creativity on the shot. Because what I'd like to do is I'd like to have the setup. It's not important that your setup, at least for me, is not only following the rules of your system. It needs to look good, right? You should be able to, you know, print out a shot and post it on Twitter, and it should be able to kind of stand out and look good. It should be clean, simple, you know, easy to understand. It just, when everything clicks, and, you know, the best trades are the trades that are obvious, right? It's the obvious trades, and obvious trades, everybody knows obvious trades. You know, the break and retest with a beautiful bounce in a high confluence area. That's the best trades, and that's the most beautiful shots as well. And this could definitely have been, you know, one of those trades, especially when you kind of, if you go to my live shot here on USD JPY. This was the setup that I was looking at, right? Now it's kind of losing its you know, the idea is kind of getting lost here. But I will explain the reasoning behind this trade, and how I took the long here, and how I sold, you know, up in this area, and why I'm looking to enter again based on the RLC, right? Guys, if you're not watching, if you're not subscribed, I know I keep repeating myself, but it's super important you subscribe to the channel. It's not only for us, right? It's for you guys, because you're going to be able to, if you press the bell button after subscribing, you're going to be notified whenever we go live, and we're going to go live quite a lot in the next 14 days and in the future. So make sure to subscribe and hit the, not only the like button on the video, but the bell button, very important. And here's the giveaway. Honestly, I'm not sure if I'm supposed to show this again, but I'm doing it anyway, because I want you guys to win. I want you guys to win, not only trading, but in real life. And this 1 month calls only is going to take you one step further. Oh man, that sounds way too cheesy. Go to the link in the description below in the video. Press the link, enter the code, do whatever it tells you to do, and win. Win, win, win. Win, win, win. All right, so let me first show you kind of like this fib right here. You see, that's a fib drawn from this low to this high. Hits the 382, confluent with that level right there, confluent with the 20 and the 50 EMA on the 4 hour. Go long on the confirmed bounce, which happens right there. Stochastics below 30, turning bullish. Perfect setup, perfect. Now let's see what's going on here in the long RLC. Right? So go to the daily, no, the 1 hour. Price is, all right, so price is losing the long RLC. This, in my opinion, is now invalidated, right? Invalidated. So not interested anymore in this trade right here. I am, however, interested in wherever we might get a bounce. But in my opinion, when this happens, you kind of have to let it go, right? You kind of have to let it go. And you can't start to kind of do it like this and like, well, look at that. It's bouncing to 618. Well, I think it should be viewed as invalidated. So be careful with that. Be careful with trying to fit your bias, fit your technical tools to your own bias. Just stick with whatever TA is telling you, and it doesn't really matter what like the market doesn't give a shit about what you think is going to happen, right? So don't try to put whatever you think is going to happen on the chart. So let me talk about the RLC for a minute here. So let's go to this clean chart. All right, so here's the bull trend, the bull market in full effect. You get higher highs and higher lows. Everybody knows that this is an uptrend, right? Hopefully. If you don't know that this is an uptrend, I will most likely talk about this in the webinar on, you know what? I should probably have to do back here. I'll most likely talk about market structure as well in the horizontal support and resistance level video. Right, so here is an uptrend. And you want to put a bullish fib on this. So you select the low to the high. Very important to draw the fibs forward in time and never backwards in time. Because if you draw it backwards in time, you are going to lose money. You now have a, right, so you have a double top here, right? A double top, you now have an M structure, maybe a beginning of a range, right? Or a beginning of a downtrend. So you're breaking these lows to the downside, creating the first sign of a bearish market structure with a lower low. And you then get reacted at this level, creates a lower high, and now you have a bearish market structure. Usually what happens when this happens on the higher time frames or the medium time frame, right? Usually what happens is you will a lot of times come down and test the long RLC. And what happens down here is very important, right? This is an area where you will a lot of times see a reversal, especially like a high time frame reversal, a medium time frame reversal in this area. Very normal, right? This applies to all time frames. You can use it on the 1 minute all up to the yearly chart if there's even enough price action data. But it applies to all time frames, right? You can trade it however you want, right? Now, how I like to use the fib area is I'm not only going to put in I'm not going to put in orders inside the RLC area. I want to wait for clear confirmation of a bounce inside this area. So notice this, right? So what happened when this market reversed, right? Well, what happened was you had a double top, right? You had a double top. You formed a M structure right here. That's a, that's the potential signs of a market reversal. So what are you looking for down here? Obviously, you're looking for the same things, but in reverse. And usually when price makes the reversal inside the long RLC, a lot of times you're going to be seeing something very beautiful here, which is going to be a W inside the long RLC. Let me extend this a little bit. So you're going to be seeing a W inside the long RLC right here. And a lot of times you will see that the 618 is being used as resistance, just like the 382 up here, or the 236 was used as support, right? And what this is it's a double top, it's an M structure, which is in reverse, it's a double bottom and a W structure down inside the long RLC. So when you are seeing this when sippy cup, I don't know what that is, man. So when you right, so when you see this inside the long RLC, you want to wait for this to be confirmed. Just like this confirmed when you broke down, you then came up and had a reaction here, right? So you're looking for a breakout and then a retest of the 618 area where you have a confirmation of a market reversal inside the long LC, and this is where you go long. Now your stop loss is going to be either below the long LC, below the double bottom, or if you're seeing this, for example, on the weekly or the daily time frame, you might want to zoom in to the 4 hour or the 1 hour and treat this level just like you were to treat a normal break and retest strategy. So you would put the stop loss on that trade kind of like below the swing low, prior to the breakout or whatever. All right, so that's kind of like describing how to play the RLC. Apply this to all time frames. I swear it's actually working, and it's remarkably working very, very well. You know what? Let's go to whatever altcoin chart, right? So let's go to VET USDT. Let's look at VET on the weekly. Let's see. I mean, I'm pretty sure. Holy shit! Yeah, let's not look at the weekly on this one. Yeah, this. All right, so let's see this, for example, right? So maybe this might be a terrible example, but let's take this as an example, right? So let's use the low here, and let's use the low here to the high here, and let's extend the RLC here. What you see here is on VET USDT, price comes down into the long RLC right here, pretty nice. And this is on the daily, so if you zoom into the 1 hour or the 15-minute, you might see a downtrend and then bullish market structure forming, and obviously it's bouncing off the 618 right there. Let's look at what else. Let's look at something just random. KMD USDT, old Komodo. Let's see. All right, so let's check this one out, right? So you got Komodo, and we're going to be watching that low to this high. Let's see where the bounce happened. Where did the bounce happen? Well, it bounced right in the long RLC, right? So I'm telling you guys, this is how the market works. It's the beauty of the Fibonacci sequence, the golden ratio, the golden number, the 618, and the RLC. This is just beautiful, right? Look at this on the daily. Price comes down into the long RLC right here and forms a bottom inside the long RLC. On the 4 hour, you're getting exactly what I talked about, where you have a downtrend like this, lower lows and lower highs. You then have a bullish break in market structure, and I guess it's not perfect, but you almost we broke out of the long RLC and almost came back and touched the 618 right here. So you can kind of draw an SR level right here, right between that and this area right here, and you see that you could have just traded this as a normal break and retest strategy, where you go long on either a confirmed bounce here with stops just below the wicks, or you put orders inside that zone with stops below the swing low prior to the breakout, right? So guys, this works. You can go and you can look at literally any altcoin and any forex chart out there. You will have a market reversal in the long RLC in most of the cases. So this is something that I believe all traders should have in their arsenal. Be very mindful of not only the 618, but the area between the 618 and the 786. That's going to be your golden area. That's where you want to be looking for a reversal on the higher time frame. All right, let's do some questions before it's too late. Man, there's so many questions. All right, let's go. Which one? Question. All right, so log already answered that one. You should not use. All right, so there's a lot, not many questions, There's a lot of chatting. And right here we got some. What is the full name of the Fibonacci tool? I want to find it in TradingView. All right, so I know this has already been answered, but we want to look at it anyway. You find it right here, right? So in TradingView, you have a list of tools to the right. So the third one from the top is you have a list with a lot of cool stuff. You have GAN boxes, Fib stuff, just a lot of insanely interesting tools here. In the middle, right in the middle, you have the Fib Retracement tool. Oh, you know what? I kind of forgot about the take profit, like how to actually take profit using the Fib Retracement tool. But let's go through the questions quick, and then we'll look at that one. All right, what else? And the swing low, where you start the Fib, shall have 2 candles left and 2 candles right. It doesn't matter. It does not matter at all, right? So all that matters is that all right, so the important thing is that look at that. We might get a bounce here anyway. So I'm just gonna put some alerts here. Put one alert below the wick and one. So guys, this is gonna be a trade I'm taking. So if this confirms, so if we have like look at the 50 minute, if we have like a bullish market structure forming on the 50 minutes, a break and retest of this level, I am going to take this trade, and I'm going to base it on man, like if it bounces on the 618, I have to bounce it on based on this level, and I will most likely just take profit at the 618 here. So I'm probably like the trade might be something like this, just a quick 2.5 hour trade. Anyway, it doesn't matter what highs and what lows your it doesn't, like, it needs to be the absolute top and the absolute high, right? And when you have the Fib on the chart, it needs to make sense according to market structures. It doesn't matter if you have if it's a proper swing low or proper swing high. It just needs to be a high and a low, and the absolute high and the absolute low, because the Fibonacci sequence needs to be calculated using the most extreme prices, right? You can't just pick and choose. If price trades up here from below here, this is the area that needs to be calculated. You can't just put the low here and here, because there has been price action. USD JPY has traded above this in this move, so you need to have the absolute tops and highs. There is some exception to this. Let's say, for example, that if you use this low and this high, the Fib is just completely wrong. But if you use that low and these closest, the Fib is absolutely perfect, then obviously you are going to use the highs up here. It's not recommended, but in some cases, for some weird reason, it works better, right? All right, what else? Do we have anything else? Anything else? Whatever questions you have, just type them in the chat. I like this one. Where to start with the material as a newcomer? You go to join the free trial. I mean, honestly, that's your best start. Join the Birb Nest free trial. You're gonna get access to webinars like this one on a daily basis. I will show you not only everything I know about trading, but also my live trades, how I take them, why I take them, and when I take them. So that's probably your best start. Join the free trial. We got this one. What's this? Tips on how to set the Fib on my TradingView. Well, all right. So in the beginning of this webinar, I showed you how I got my Fib set up. Watch the replay of this webinar, which is going to be available on YouTube. Pause the video when I show you my setup. Copy that one if you want my levels and my structure or whatever. What other indicators should I use with Fibs? everything that makes sense, everything that you like using in trading. Me personally, I use the Fib tool together with the basis of my system is my horizontal levels. I add exponential moving averages, which is the 20, the 50, the 100, and the 200, and I then on top of that add trend lines, and I use the stochastics RSI to find Confluence. I just want everything to kind of align in one area. What's your favorite pattern to trade on? Right, so I'm not really a patterns trader, but I mean, I'm not even sure if it's a pattern, but the if you guys been following me and watching my webinars in the Birb Nest, you know that I almost always look for W's, double bottoms, inside the long RLC, right? So or M structures, double tops inside the short RLC. So that's pretty much the only thing which I would call a structure or pattern that I would trade. It's the W's and M structures inside the long or short RLC. Right. Oh man, there's so many questions and so little time. So what you could do while waiting for me to find a new question, you could subscribe to the channel and hit the like button on the video. I know I keep repeating myself, but I'm pretty sure that we got more new people coming in every minute here. Do you check further Confluence with RSI or MACD? Yes, exactly. That's what I'm doing. What I've just described. Can you suggest articles and books to read and learn this strategy, because one book is not enough to learn from newbies like me? All right, so one book you need to read, and it has nothing to do with technical analysis. Trading in the Zone by Mark Douglas. Get that one, read that one. When you've read that one, join the free trial. I'm showing these stuffs over and over again in the webinars, and we also have access to webinars from me showing this, and then from Aperture showing how he uses the Fib, probably in a similar matter, but not exactly like me. So I highly recommend that book to everyone. Trading in the Zone by Mark Douglas. It has nothing to do with TA, it's just psychological aspect of trading, but that's it's a masterpiece. Read it. If you haven't read it, read it, join the free trial, and learn to trade in the Birb Nest. All right. I'm sorry I just joined. Please don't be sorry. All right, so 4-hour time frame. Where should I put Fib? Low, high, for example. If I use it today, should I look only April? It doesn't matter, right? Like time frames don't matter. Just look at the chart. Do you is there a move? Here's a move, right? This is a move. You select the low and the high. Here's a move. Low, high, low, high, low. This is a hard one, but you got a low and a high. It doesn't matter, right? It doesn't matter. It's only going to be like whatever time frame you're watching, and whenever move you want to find resistance levels or support levels, you select the low and the high. Is the golden pocket area the same as your LTC? No, it's RLC. It's RLC, reload zone, and it's not the same. The golden pocket, God, I keep forgetting that. I think it's the area between the 50 and the 618. Like I might be completely wrong, but I think the golden area or the golden pocket is the area between the 50% and the 618. The RLC, the reload zone, is between the 618 and the 786, so it's way lower. With that said, the golden pocket or the area if below the 50 or between the 50 and the 618 is a very, very important area. Got 10 minutes left, so I think I have to skip some of the questions because I really need to show you guys my take profit strategy, right? My take profit strategy, very, very important. And before I do that, remember, we got the giveaway going on. You should not only subscribe and like, subscribe to the channel and like the video, but you also have to check out the giveaway, which you can find using the link in the description below. And you use that secret code. So while you do that, I will find a good example of a chart where we can look at an example of take profit areas using the Fib tool. So let's use the USD scenario here once again on the clean chart here. I can just show you a high time frame setup here using all my tools quickly before we got about 9 minutes left. But so let's use the Fib tool here. From that low to this high, you see the 382 right here. Hits the 382, stochastics RSI on the daily below 20, forming a bottom. Kind of complement with the daily 50 EMA right here. And it's also a trendline area. I'd like to use the parallel channel tool to create trendline areas and not only trend lines, but let's add this. So using the trend line, we had a trend line going in this area right here. So this is a 5 out of 5 stars setups where everything kind of aligns. So now if you go long on the 382, now this is obviously going to be a very high time frame trade, and it's not really exactly how I would play it because this is on daily. But if this were on the 4-hour fib or 1-hour fib, I would definitely play this in this way. But my profit taking strategy based on the Fib tool is based on the 0% Fib, the -236, and the -618, right? So you long here. So let's say you long that first bullish daily candle right here. So when I have your stops below the wicks, now the entry triggers and everything isn't really part of this webinar, but your profit areas are going to be up at the 0% and always front run the level. So always have it below because a lot of people will be watching the same level. So you want to make sure that you actually take profit, which means you have to front run all of their orders, because if there's too many sell orders up there and all the sellers kind of get if not all the sellers get absorbed before price reverse to the downside, there is a reason, or there is a chance that your orders will not get filled. So front run the level always. And then you have the next TP level would be front running the -236 and then the -618. So the trade will look like this, right? And you have 3 TP areas where I take off 25% here and move my stops to entry. I take out 25% here and move my stops to TP1. And here I take out 50%. So the average risk to reward on this trade, let's calculate that. That would be 50% here, 50% here. That would be right here. So the average risk to return on this trade would be around 9, right? So that's my TP strategy using the Fibonacci extensions. I use the 0% Fib because that will be the high. And the reason for taking profit here is because if price gets rejected right here, you will most likely have a double top, right? And what's a double top? Well, that's a possible market reversal, right? Another way to find the take profit areas is to look for a bullish fib, I mean a bearish fib, right? So let's view this as the down move, right? Let's view this as a down move. So we want to see if we can. So let's see. We want to. Aperture is sending me a DM on Discord saying he wants to join my webinar. Next webinar. Are we going to allow him to do that? If he's going to join my webinar, I would love for him to actually join. And do we want that? Yes, we do. Yes. It's better to just answer him here than to write him. So here we go. That's the Fib. That's the high to the low, right? Now we look for Fib confluence areas. We look for more Fib confluence areas. Now what we see here is on the 4-hour, we have a beautiful Fib confluence area right here, where we have this second take profit area is right inside the high time frame short RLC, right? So because of this, I would probably, I would probably take maybe 50% profit up here instead of 50 here. So I'd take 50% profit here because it's a high time frame short RLC. So it's a very high probability that we are going to get a heavy high time frame reaction up here. So I would probably take 25 here and 50 here and the rest here. That's how I use. That's how I use the Fib tool as a take profit tool. Let's go. Questions. See. I think we're going to end the webinar in not too long. So let's see if we get some questions. So this is an important one, right? And I'm going to be talking a lot about this one in. I'm going to be talking about a lot about this one in my horizontal levels webinar. Do we always have to wait for the retest after touching a Fib level? Well, I mean, the touch of the Fib level is a retest, but I think what you're maybe asking here is if no, I'm not sure if I understand the question. I'm sorry, dude, but I mean the retest is probably the touch of the level. Time frames for swing trades. All right, so the time frames that I'm most likely interested in is the the daily and 4 hour for my swing trades, right? So I kind of look at the market structure on the weekly and the daily, and then I try to find entries on the 4 hour based on the break and retest strategy, which I will show you guys in the next webinar. Not today, not tomorrow, but my next horizontal support and resistance webinar. But I mean, swing trading, it's all. It all depends on the market structure. I mean, it could be a beautiful swing trade on the weekly, daily, 4 hour, even hourly. It's all about execution, and it's a very hard question to answer because like me personally, when swing trading, I use the weekly time frame all the way down to like the 5 minute sometimes. So yeah. All right, guys. Don't forget to sign up for the giveaway. Use the link in the description below. And I am going to end this webinar shortly. And yeah, I'm a bit distracted right now. I'm sorry, guys. And usually get very distracted when it's like gone an hour. All right, so we're done. I'd like to thank you all for joining. It's been very fun. And I really enjoyed this. I hope you guys enjoyed it as well. And we're going to hold a new one where I talk about my next one. I'm probably going to be talking about horizontal support and resistance levels. I really do think you're going to enjoy that one because I'm going to show you a very simple and extremely effective trading system where you basically only need to use horizontal levels. And your job is then going to be to, add Confluence areas to the levels, but it's very, very simple. You do not want to miss that one. And please, guys, sign up for the if you're not in already, you need to sign up for the Traders Congress. Go to the birbnest.com/200k dash I think sign up. All right, guys, take care. I think I have to end now. See you guys in the next one.